I'm going to read a letter that Chris got from a girl, and it begins with greetings from New York. I wanted to send you a greeting card, but I have no idea what the mail rules are. So I'm playing it safe with a boring letter. Smiley face. At least I hope it's not boring. You're probably being bombarded with mail, huh? I hope I haven't invaded your space by reaching out. That's not my intentions at all. I found myself thinking a lot about you. I wasn't going to write because part of me figured maybe this letter wouldn't be welcomed by you. But I figured life is too short to hold back. So here I am. If you've gotten this far without throwing my letter in the trash, thank you. I figure you'll tell me about yourself if you feel up to it. As for me, I am an open book. You can ask me anything you like. I promise to answer honestly. For starters, I am 29 years old. I'll be 30 on November the 27th. Gosh, really not ready to exit my 20s yet. Um, I was born in Odessa, Ukraine. She was born in Ukraine, Odessa, or something like that. And Ukraine and Russian is my first language. I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, but I've lived in New York on and off for 10 years now. Um, have you been to New York? I have a love-hate relationship with it, but I don't think I'd ever live in Boston again. While Chris Watts was in in the jail, he was being held for murder um, and in prison. He got over 60 letters from complete strangers that expressed both love and hatred for the murderer. And most of these people were women, but there were some men that sent him letters too, but um, a few of them are from his friends, his real friends, people that know him. Um, and some of these pictures were, um, well, a little ranchy, I guess, and were blurred out. We don't even know if these were real pictures of these women. Send in images. Who knows? They might have been. But women do this. Women will latch on to a person that is committed murder. Now, we don't know why these people would latch on to these men, which they will never probably ever see. Or if they do, they go to visit, and well, of course, they want company, don't they? And they want money. So they too will latch on to women that are stupid enough to get in a relationship with a person that will never be out of prison anymore and go visit them once a month, every 2 weeks, and travel far and give up their whole family and their life. And some women and men end up marrying them. Now, we've seen that in the past, these high profile cases where these prisoners are allowed to get married. Yes. Ugh, I don't even know what prison is about anymore. I'm talking about these people that have murdered heinously, uh, all kinds of criminals that are in prison for life, never to get out. And they spend all their money on these men and women. Well, takes all kinds, I guess, but and they send him promises, and they put money on his commissary account. Oh yeah, they put money on there so he can have his little goodies and maybe buy protection. If it gives them a Twinkie or two, they're gonna, help him out. You know how they are. You have to have something to trade in prison. We all know that. We all know you got to have something. And, these letters, we don't know if he really got interested in anybody or did he write back. It seems like he's not doing too much of nothing. Like his family, I don't know if they wrote to him or he's wrote back to them. Um, but anyway, I mean, there was people were wishing him death and expressing their desire that he be both physically and sexually assaulted behind bars. Yeah, he's getting all those kind of letters. Now, guys, this goes on all the time in prison. Chris Watts is not the first to get love letters. And Crazy Mel, you think that they come out the woodwork. They do. They come out the woodwork. Now, some of these people that wrote letters in the first place did they know their letters were going to hit the news? Is that why they wrote? Because anything sent to him was going to be used as evidence. Now, why would they release these letters? Why? Because they can? Because, one thing is prisons make money. They make money on their phone calls. They make money all the time. They make money for the county. It's not just the taxpayers paying for these prisons to run. They make their own money somehow. So that's why it costs a lot of money. And that's why they use their own phone booths. And that's why it costs so much money to reverse the charges. They're getting all this money. So we'll see, guys, how this goes on. And let's have a discussion about this letter on your thoughts. What do you think about this girl? And what do you think about women and men who get involved with these men? Because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get in their head. And, for whatever reason, Are they lonely? Are they crazy? Unstable? Um, but you know what? There was a case, I forget what the murderer's name was, but there was a juror, and she sentenced this man to life in prison. Yeah. And after all said and done, this woman marries him. What? She sentenced him. She put her vote in and said, tick the box, and her vote counted. And then she turns around and marries him? I'm not saying right away, but she ended up marrying him. How crazy is that, guys? See, you never know. So let's have a little discussion on this letter, and I wonder if she wrote him again. And thank you for stopping by.